Koppal is an important historical district located in the northern part of Karnataka, known for its rich heritage, cultural glory, and historical monuments. Since ancient times, this region has been a center of political, religious, and social activities. Koppal has witnessed the rule of many dynasties and holds a unique place in the history of Karnataka. In particular, Koppal has a very significant connection with the history of the Vijayanagara Empire. Being located near Hampi, the capital of the Vijayanagara Empire, this region played an important role in the empire's administration, trade, and cultural activities. Situated on the banks of the Tungabhadra River, Koppal is a beautiful blend of natural beauty and historical heritage. Even today, its forts, temples, and archaeological monuments remind us of Koppal's glorious past. Koppal is a very important place for understanding the history, culture, and heritage of Karnataka. The history of the Koppal region also includes an important chapter during the times of the Gangas and the Chalukyas. Around the 6th century, when South India was divided into several small kingdoms, the Badami Chalukyas emerged as a powerful force in Karnataka. The Koppal region, located along the Tungabhadra River, became an important part of this rising empire. At that time, the Ganga dynasty held influence in the southern parts of Karnataka, while the Chalukyas were expanding their power in northern and central Karnataka. The Gangas were known for religious tolerance, education, and patronage of Jainism. Their rule brought peace and stability to Karnataka, which later supported the rise of the Chalukyas. In the mid-6th century AD, the Chalukyas, with Badami as their capital, began expanding their empire. Under their rule, the Koppal region gained military and economic importance. Due to the rich water resources of the Tungabhadra River and important trade routes, this region became a center of development. The most famous ruler of this period was Pulkeshin II. He ascended the throne in 610 AD and became immortal in history due to his bravery, vision, and military skill. He expanded his empire beyond Karnataka into parts of Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu. During Pulkeshin II's reign, the Koppal region became an important administrative and military center of the empire. Forts, defense posts, and villages in this region played a key role in the kingdom's security and economic activities. Farmers engaged in agriculture, while traders conducted trade with various regions, improving the standard of living. One of the most important events in Pulkeshin II's life was his war against the northern Emperor Harshavardhana. Harshavardhana, who controlled much of North India, attempted to move southward. However, at the battle on the banks of the Narmada River, Pulkeshin II defeated Harsha and protected the independence of South India. This victory made him one of the greatest kings in Indian history. During his rule, art, literature, and architecture also flourished. Temple construction was encouraged. Kannada and Sanskrit languages received royal patronage. The Chalukyas followed religious tolerance and respected Shaivism, Vaishnavism, and Jainism equally. Inscriptions, archaeological remains, and historical sites in the Koppal region still remind us of the glory of the Gangas and Chalukyas. This period was not just a story of political victories. It was a golden age when Karnataka reached new heights in agriculture, trade, culture, and administration. The strong foundation laid by the Gangas and the glory built by the Chalukyas paved the way for the rise of the Rashtrakutas, Western Chalukyas, and the Vijayanagara Empire. The Gangas were one of the longest ruling dynasties in Karnataka history, ruling from the 4th century to the 10th century. They established their power mainly in southern Karnataka, with their capitals at Talkuru and surrounding regions. However, their political and cultural influence extended to regions like Koppal in northern Karnataka. Koppal was not directly under Ganga rule. However, the administrative system and cultural influence of the Gangas were clearly visible in the local political structures of this region. At that time, smaller local chieftains ruled under or within the influence of the Gangas, which created stability and administrative discipline in the region. The Ganga rulers were especially known for their religious tolerance. Many of their kings followed Jainism with great devotion. Because of this, Jainism gained a strong foundation in Karnataka. Jain monasteries, the construction of bastis, Jain temples, and the activities of ascetics flourished during this period. Traces of this religious influence can still be seen in and around the Koppal region. During the Ganga period, importance was also given to education and literature. Royal patronage was extended to literary works in Sanskrit and Prakrit. Inscriptions, stone edicts, and copper plates were used as important administrative records. This tradition of inscriptions later became a model for the Chalukyas and Rashtrakutas. From an economic perspective, agriculture was the main foundation under Ganga rule. Irrigation systems, tank construction, and land tax administration were efficiently managed. This led to steady development in rural areas. As a result of this administrative model, agricultural society became stronger in regions like Koppal. Culturally, the Ganga period was a peaceful and stable era in Karnataka. Temple construction, sculpture, and religious practices developed significantly. This cultural foundation later became a strong base for the Badami Chalukyas, Rashtrakutas, and the Vijayanagara Empire. Thus, although direct Ganga rule was not strongly visible in Koppal, their political system, religious influence, and cultural heritage played an important role in shaping the history of this region. Pulkeshin II, AD 610 to 642, was one of the most powerful and famous kings in the history of the Badami Chalukyas. His reign is considered the Golden Age in the political, military, and cultural history of South India. Under his leadership, the Badami Chalukya dynasty reached the peak of its glory. After ascending the throne, Pulkeshin II rapidly expanded his empire. His rule extended from Badami, Aihole, and Pattadakal in Karnataka to Maharashtra, Goa, Andhra Pradesh, and parts of northern Tamil Nadu. This expansion made the Chalukya Empire one of the most powerful forces in South India. His military strength holds a special place in history. When the powerful northern Emperor Harshavardhana attempted to expand his influence southwards, Pulkeshin II defeated him in a battle on the banks of the Narmada River. This event is famously known as the Battle of Narmada. This victory was not just a military success. It was a crucial event that established the political balance between North and South India. With Harshavardhana's defeat, the independent power of South India was preserved, and the prestige of the Chalukya Empire spread across the region. Under Pulkeshin II, the administrative system was highly organized. The empire was divided into provinces and districts. Local administration was given autonomy, while central control remained strong. This improved administrative efficiency. Economically, this period was prosperous. Irrigation systems were improved to support agriculture. Trade routes were strengthened, and both internal and foreign trade increased. Regions like Hampi, Badami, and Koppal developed into important commercial and cultural centers. Culturally, the reign of Pulkeshin II was extremely rich. The temples built at Aihole and Pattadakal are outstanding examples of Chalukyan architecture. Equal support was given to Shaivism, Vaishnavism, and Jainism, which promoted religious tolerance and cultural diversity. During his rule, Kannada and Sanskrit languages flourished. Inscriptions and stone records documented political and social history. These records remain valuable sources for historical research even today. Thus, the golden age of Pulkeshin II was not just a story of military victories. It was a period of stable governance, economic prosperity, cultural growth, and comprehensive political development. Koppal is an ancient and historical land located in the northern part of Karnataka. The history of this region dates back thousands of years and has evolved through the rise and fall of many dynasties. Situated on the banks of the Tungabhadra River, this land has always been a center of agriculture, trade, and culture. In the early period, this region came under the influence of the Western Ganga dynasty. The Ganga rulers promoted Jainism and created an environment of education, literature, and religious peace. Their rule brought stability to society, and laid a strong foundation for future empires. In the 6th century, the Badami Chalukya dynasty rose to power. During the Chalukya period, the Koppal region entered a new phase of development. Irrigation systems were developed for agriculture, trade routes were expanded, and temples were constructed. During this time, Kannada and Sanskrit languages also progressed significantly. Among the Chalukya rulers, Pulkeshin II was the most powerful king. During his reign, the Chalukya Empire reached its peak of power. He defeated the powerful northern ruler Harshavardhana in the battle on the banks of the Narmada River and protected the independence of South India. This victory marked an important turning point in South Indian political history. During the Chalukya period, Koppal developed greatly in agriculture and trade. The Tungabhadra River made the land fertile, allowing crops such as grains, cotton, and others to grow well. Temples served as religious centers and became the focal point of cultural life in society. The administrative system functioned smoothly, ensuring peace and development in the region. Later, with the rise of the Vijayanagara Empire, this region gained even greater importance. Being close to Hampi, Koppal played a key role in the military and administrative activities of that time. Across different historical phases, the Gangas, Chalukyas, and later empires shaped the development of Koppal. Thus, the story of Koppal is not the story of a single dynasty. It is a rich historical heritage shaped by the peace of the Gangas, the power of the Chalukyas, and the glory of the Vijayanagara Empire. The history of this region is not merely a series of political events. It is a living testimony to a rich tradition of art, architecture, and culture. During the Badami Chalukya period, Indian temple architecture reached new heights. The temples built by these rulers are beautiful combinations of Dravidian and Nagara styles, and are excellent examples of sculpture. Carvings of deities on stone, beautiful arches, and intricate craftsmanship reflect the talent of the artists of that time. Inscriptions and archaeological remains found in and around Koppal provide valuable information about the Chalukyan administration, religious beliefs, and cultural achievements. These stone inscriptions reveal details about royal donations, temple construction, and social organization. Temples were not only places of worship but also centers of education, music, and social activities. The strongest leadership that supported this cultural growth was provided by Pulkeshin II. Under his rule, the Chalukya Empire was politically strong and culturally rich. Artists and sculptors received royal patronage and created outstanding works during his reign. Historically, the periods of the Gangas and the Badami Chalukyas represent an era of stable governance, cultural growth, and economic prosperity in Koppal's history. The administrative systems and cultural values formed during this time became a strong foundation for future dynasties. In particular, the rule of Pulkeshin II increased the political importance of this region. The strength and stability seen during his reign became the foundation for the later rise of the Rashtrakuta dynasty, Western Chalukya dynasty, and Vijayanagara Empire. Thus, the history of Koppal is a great heritage expressed through art and architecture. It is a priceless historical legacy created by the power of kings, the talent of sculptors, and the cultural life of the people. One of the most important historical monuments of Koppal is its fort. Built on a hilltop, the fort naturally holds a defensive advantage, making it an ideal location to protect against enemy attacks. The history of this fort includes the rule of several dynasties. Initially, after the Badami Chalukyas established their influence over the region, the Rashtrakutas and later the Western Chalukyas recognized its importance and used it as a military center. Later, during the Vijayanagara Empire, the fort was further strengthened and developed into a major defense center. The design of the fort was carefully planned from a military perspective. Strong fortification walls, watchtowers, and entrance gates were built using the natural rocky terrain as a defensive barrier. Curved pathways and elevated defensive positions were created to prevent easy enemy access. Koppal Fort was not only a military center but also an administrative hub. During the rule of kings, military camps, armories, and administrative offices functioned here. The surrounding people lived safely under the protection of this fort. Even today, the ruins of this fort remind us of its glorious past. Stone walls, old gateways, and destroyed structures stand as silent witnesses of history. Koppal Fort still remains an important historical landmark of the district, and a major tourist attraction. The district also played an important role during India's freedom struggle. The people of this region actively supported the national movements against British rule, and continued the tradition of patriotism. The influence of the freedom movement in Koppal spread mainly through rural communities, students, and local leadership. Inspired by Mahatma Gandhi's non-violent struggle, the non-cooperation movement, and the Quit India movement, 1942, people united against British rule. Activities such as boycotting schools, government institutions, and British administrative functions were observed. In rural areas, people supported tax resistance movements and promoted the use of indigenous products. Local youth participated in meetings, rallies, and patriotic programs, raising awareness among the people. In this way, Koppal district contributed to the national freedom movement. From ancient times, this land had a spirit of patriotism and resistance due to its historical background of ruling dynasties, and it also maintained a strong stand against British rule. Thus, Koppal retained its honorable position not only as a historical heritage but also in the freedom struggle. In this land, the year unfolds like a story in 3 seasons. Each season has its own impact on people's lives, agriculture, and daily activities. During summer, the sun casts intense heat over the land. The earth becomes hot and dry winds blow. Farmers complete their work early in the morning and protect themselves from the afternoon heat. Tanks and ponds become lifelines during this season. Then comes the monsoon, when Koppal's land comes alive. Dark clouds gather in the sky, and as the first drops of rain fall, the dry land turns green again. The Tungabhadra river and rainwater together fill the fields with crops. Smiles return to farmers' faces. In winter, Koppal becomes calm and beautiful. Cool winds blow, mornings are foggy, and evenings are pleasant. During this season, agricultural work becomes easier and festivals are celebrated with greater joy. Thus, the climate of Koppal is not just a change of seasons, it is a natural cycle that shapes the story of people's lives. Summer's heat, monsoon's blessing, and winter's peace all together keep this land alive. The blend of historical glory, cultural beauty, and developmental progress is Koppal.